You ever play a game that makes you feel both incredibly smart and painfully dumb at the same time? Yeah, that's what happened to me with this one. Today, we're talking about The Farmer Was Replaced. It's a weird, wonderful little game where you don't plow fields or plant seeds yourself. You literally write code to get a drone to do it for you. Because apparently, even virtual farmers are out of a job now. This isn't your usual farming sim where you spam the harvest button and call it a day. No, this one looks you dead in the eye and says, "You want crops? Then write me a function." It's part farming game, part programming lesson, and part personal humiliation for anyone who thought they understood Python. The game's full release was on October 10, 2025, developed by Timon Herzog and published by Metaroot and Herzog himself. It's built in Unity, runs on PC, and it's all about programming, automation, and optimization. But trust me, it's not nearly as boring as that sounds. So, here's the gist. You program a little farming drone using a simple Python-like language. Your job is to automate all the repetitive stuff: planting, watering, harvesting, and make that drone work smarter, not harder. It's like Factorio and Stardew Valley had a baby that grew up reading coding textbooks instead of bedtime stories. What I really love is how the game doesn't treat you like an idiot. It starts by teaching you the basic programming concepts one step at a time. But it doesn't spoon-feed you either. It gives you the tools, pats you on the head, and says, "Good luck, kid." When you hit execute and watch your drone actually follow your code perfectly, it's pure dopamine. But when it doesn't, oh boy, let's just say you'll start questioning every line of logic you've ever written. The language you use isn't exactly Python, but it's close enough that you can even use Python IntelliSense. That's not just a neat feature, that's actual functional integration. It makes the game feel like a legitimate development environment disguised as a chill farming game. Now, I'm going to be honest, I'm not a Python expert. I've done my fair share of coding, Lua, C#, you name it. But Python has always been that one language I've looked at from a distance and thought, yeah, maybe later. So, when I saw that this game uses Python-like system, I figured, cool, I'll just wing it. Spoiler alert, the game winged me instead. The first few hours are actually really fun and smooth. You start with basic stuff, telling your drone where to go, how to water things, how to harvest. It's super satisfying when your little drone buddy follows your instructions like a loyal metal dog. But then, about 3 to 4 hours in, the difficulty spikes. The tasks start getting more complex. Suddenly, you're not just planting trees anymore. You're optimizing entire plots for efficiency. And then comes the pumping stage. The pumping stage. This is where the game politely stops teaching and says, okay, you've got the basics. Now, figure it out yourself. And it means it. You'll stare at your code for minutes that turn into hours, wondering why your drone keeps bumping into the same tree over and over again, like it's drunk on motor oil. For me, that was the point where I realized this isn't just a game, it's a challenge for your brain. And that's kind of beautiful. It reminds you that learning is supposed to be hard sometimes, that struggle is part of the process. Here's what's fascinating. This game somehow makes learning programming fun. I mean, think about it. The same basic concepts you'd normally learn from a textbook. Loops, variables, conditionals. Here, they're disguised as farming mechanics. You're not writing for loops, you're teaching your drone how to water rows of carrots without running out of battery. You're not studying logic flow. You're debugging your own mistakes to make sure the crops grow properly. And it works. Even as someone who's been coding for years, I found myself learning new tricks just by experimenting. It's like the game teaches you without making you feel like you're studying. That's something schools haven't quite figured out yet. The way this game introduces concepts step by step is brilliant. It gives you just enough structure to feel guided, but never so much that it feels like hand-holding. I honestly think games like this could be the future of education. Because, let's be real, If I'd learned coding through a game like this instead of dry lectures and syntax drills, I'd probably have written fewer terrible scripts in my early days. And this isn't me exaggerating. There's real pedagogical value here. One of my favorite things about The Farmer Was Replaced is how it naturally teaches you debugging. You know, that thing we all claim to hate but secretly love when it finally works. When your code doesn't do what you expect, you'll start printing variables just to see what's happening. You'll test functions, track outputs, and realize that you've been learning real-world debugging habits the entire time. You start treating the game like a genuine programming environment. You'll stop searching for "farmer was replaced column problem" on Google and instead search for how to loop through 2D arrays in Python. And that's the magic of it. The skills you learn here actually transfer to real coding. If you're an experienced programmer, the early part of the game might feel easy, but the later challenges will still push you. You'll be optimizing algorithms to shave off precious seconds of drone movement or to reduce redundant code paths. And if you're a beginner, don't worry. The game might kick your butt a bit, but it's the kind of kick that teaches you something every time you try again. Honestly, the satisfaction when your code finally works is unmatched. That feeling of watching your drone move perfectly according to plan, it's like hearing an orchestra play the piece you just composed. I've said this before, but indie games never stop surprising me. The Farmer Was Replaced isn't some flashy AAA game with photorealistic graphics or a huge marketing campaign. It's a small, focused project made by one developer with a passion for teaching and a love for the technical side of game design. Timon Herzog clearly knew what he was doing. The design philosophy here is tight, functional, and smart. Every mechanic serves a purpose. Every challenge reinforces a concept, and every frustration hides a learning opportunity. And the best part, it all feels natural. The game doesn't preach or brag about being educational. It just is. You play, you struggle, you improve, and by the end of it, you've accidentally become a better programmer. Visually, the game uses a low-poly style that keeps things simple and clear, which is perfect because your focus is on logic, not lighting. The UI is clean, responsive, and surprisingly intuitive for something that lets you edit live code. Performance-wise, it runs smoothly. It's built in Unity, and you can tell the developer paid attention to detail. It didn't run into any major bugs, at least not ones that weren't my own fault. If you're into automation, logic puzzles, or just like watching little drones work their metal butts off, this is absolutely worth trying. Even if you've never written a line of code before, you'll learn. And if you have, you'll still learn something new. That's the sign of a well-designed educational game, one that teaches without feeling like a lecture. So, could this be the future of learning? Honestly, I hope so. Let me know what you think in the comments. Have you tried this game yet? Do you think educational games like this actually work? Or should schools just start handing out Steam keys instead of homework? Thanks for watching!